Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sriram. I'm handling auditing here. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, by practice. I'm a chartered accountant. I also studied CS, but more to do with CA only as a profession. Can you guys tell me, let's make it more interactive for some time. So could you guys tell me why is that you chose CA over any other profession or any other study? What made you choose CA?
Interest in finance.
Interest in finance, cool. Any other answer as to why would you choose CA? Okay, there was some interest in finance, good. Then any other thing? I mean, all are CA students only. There's no doubt for me about that. Okay, right. So could you guys tell me why did you choose this? Madam? Earning, okay. Good earning potential, okay. Nice. Next. So when I completed my class 10 and I wanted to become a journalist, okay, a full-fledged proper journalist wearing all khadi kurtas, and I wanted to be like that. So when I was in a family forum where my results had just come the day before and all my uncles, aunties, everyone were sitting and talking about what is that you want to become. So they already have had a dream of what I should be like. And it was quite a good mark for whatever capacity I had. So it was an exceptional mark and I stood in the top 3 ranks in my school also. So they said, no, definitely you should take up engineering only. And finally, one revered uncle from my family, he said, my Pedanana, he said, no, you take up CA because for the marks that you have got, I'm sure you can do CA. I've seen many people who have tried CA, who have not done it. I think for the mark you have got, I think you have got that in you to do CA, so better take up CA. I already had in one of the reputed schools in Chennai, I already had my admission saying that I'm taking science group. But then next day I went in, I changed it to commerce group. I got selected in the school, I changed it to commerce group. The principal of the school asked, why is that you want to change now? I said, no, CA has got evergreen trend and whatever businesses come, businesses go, CA is always there forever. And I said, it was basically a dialogue which was made up, which I just made a Google search, seen what are the benefits or advantages of becoming CA, and I told that. But now having having been in profession for quite some time, I really understand how much of my answer made sense that day. And that is true also. So all of us as to why we came into CA as a profession, we all have one story, one backstory. Maybe my financial position was so bad, I want to earn very well. And that was true at that time. My family, we had to earn better, we had to pile up assets, we had to make up assets. So if I become a journalist, I would not have made fortunes. So they thought it is better I become a CA. And now when I think of it, I think it's a good decision. And one more beautiful point of this is, CA is one profession which gives you time to pursue whatever you like also. It's not a case where you go into office, you get locked up, you can't do anything else. It's not really like that. In case you want to write up a content for a newspaper, I can still do that, and I'm still actively blogging because my passion lies there. But this is a thing which is putting food on my plate. I'm doing this with a lot of passion. The one thing that you need to understand is we come from a society where you go to an exam, you come out with the result, all cheers, everyone clears, you see the exam board, everyone does and all that. But unfortunately, CA is not a case like that. Because this is a place where people go, write exam, come back, 6 months, go, write exam, come back, 6 months, go, write exam, come back. This has been there for some time until good coaching institutes and good idea of the education came up. And still, to take more attempts in CA, you need to understand you're doing a professional course and not a regular course where you definitely go in, you clear and come out. So this is a particular course where foundation is pretty easy, admission is somewhat easy, the going gets difficult in inter, the final is the toughest, and when you come out, you become much tougher than where you started the course. So that's point number 1. You guys know about this Commando Academies in India. So there is one Commando Academy, National Commando Training Academy, which is in Belgaum. Your 2611 blasts, when we saw some people coming in black, the black cats coming in black dresses, getting into the Taj Hotel, rescuing all the hostages, coming out. These guys did not get it trained all in like single day. They got trained it over a period. So basically you go through a proper military academy and then you get trained there. And after that you go to this special action group which is called a commando training. And it's a rigorous training. It's not like our CA. It's not like UPSC. It's not like anything that we have come across. It's not like NEET. It's a very, 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 very rigorous training. This rigorous training happens for a month or bit more than a month also. And the total training is only for this much period, where after that period you start practicing for it. And how does this training go? Basically people make you run. Okay, so the entire team, say for example, we are all the commando training team. The entire team is split into two parts. The runners and the catchers. The same game that we played in class 7 or class 8 last. The runners and the catchers. You are put into a jungle, some 60 or 70 kilometers away from Belgaum, into a very, very rural, a jungle place. You start running. The runners run, the catchers have to catch. If the runners get caught, and the running happens for like 60 kilometers, you go, you start hiding yourself, and the catchers come, they go and catch for these guys. In case the runners get caught, say for example when I am like 35 kilometers out, in that 35 kilometer stretch I get caught, I'll have to come back and start again from scratch to go for that 60 kilometer mark. So whatever we are doing is not so tough. And in this commando training, you go through what is called 18 hours of physical training. 18 hours of physical training. After that, no food, no break, nothing. Food happens, all that happens. But after this 18 hours of strenuous physical training, then you go through what is called theoretical training. Then they tell you how to be intelligent, how to understand what is hard intelligence, what is soft intelligence, how do you survive in case you become a prisoner of war, how do you treat an army of your enemy country, how do you treat the soldier, how do you behave with them, what information do you divulge, what information do you gather, all this. So basically in a 24-hour day, you get trained for somewhere about maybe 22, 23 hours maybe. An hour of break is definitely given because we are also humans. After this 1 month or 1.5 months of training, when you come out, the commando chief, he tells you, dude, today whatever condition you are in, this is the best, the fittest position that you will ever be in your life. You are never going to be more fitter than what you are today. Sir, okay sir, all done. But then why am I going through this commando training? If I am going to be, this is the best, fittest position of mine, then why am I even doing this training? Tomorrow when I fight with the enemy, how am I going to do? He's telling you, understand, you are not going to get trained physically for 18 hours anymore. 18 hours physical training is only now. And tomorrow, in a war, in a hostile situation, when you get caught as a prisoner of war, when there is so much of physical, mental torture which is being done to you, you just understand that, dude, I passed that one only. That 23 hours every day for about 45 days I passed. Bloody, what can you do to me with this minimum tortures? So it basically trains your mind for that. And this strenuous cycle of going through this foundation, inter, final, this is basically the commando training that you are going through. And you are not really working 23 hours a day. You are not really physically training yourself or even mentally training yourself for 18 hours a day. That is all not expected. Based on the stat that both our professors said, it is barely 70 days. Or even he is so generous to give you even breaks in between. 3 days, 4 days, you take break, 70 days. And you are going to get trained for about 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day. It is so simple. It is so easy. Just that our society as a whole nurtures people who clear. And unfortunately here, it is an exam which has got its own bumps and it's a bumpy ride. It's not so straight road. It's a road less taken. So you tend to fail. That's okay. That's absolutely okay. But we are also here. People like us who are here, you need not treat us like professors, but you can think us as the senior mirror image of you. So we were there maybe 5 years back, 6 years back, 10 years back, we were there. We're just coming from there. And talking about this, so this is point one which I wanted to very clearly convey. Point two is talking about these two groups. I'm taking more examples of more examples from my own case study because I know only me better. So I'll tell examples from my own cycle. When I was studying for final, my target was one group I clear, Pakka, and next group when I'm writing, I want to get exemption in one paper. This was a target. So that one paper I clear, then I have only other two papers, so it is easy for me. This was back in 2016. The first group I wrote really well. I was confident I'll clear. One particular paper was a bit jittery here and there, so it's not so confident about that. But then I was like overall confident that accounts and FM have really done well, so I'll definitely get very good marks in that. So it should make up for the first group. The second group, what happened? The first paper was costing paper. When the costing paper happened, I was mentally of this frame that okay, I'm done with first group. I'm just giving second group a fun shot. In that one paper, we had this paper called ISCA. In that one particular paper, I want to clear. I want to get exemption, but otherwise I'm not really so very hell-bent on clearing this second group. I can take it very coolly in the next 6 months. Now what happened, this costing paper, I did not study a single word. And it was group study, me and one other friend. I did not study a single word. And this friend was hitting book on his head saying, Dave, please sit and study. No, come on, you can actually get some marks. Some marks you can get, sit and study. I said, no, this is not part of my target at all. I'm not at all studying for this. You please leave it. Don't bother me. So I was playing PS in his house while he was sitting at my back and he was studying. This went on like this. When we were entering the exam hall, I told him, buddy, I'm going to write exactly for 15 minutes because before that they will not allow me to come out. I'll read paper for 15 minutes. I'll write exactly for 15 minutes. 16th minute, I'll keep my leg like this. I'll come out of the exam hall. So I'll not wait for you. If I'm very bored, I'll go home. Next exam, I want to get exemption. That exam, I need to prepare better. This, I was like having a fun ride for 2 days. So I'll not wait for you. He said, okay, fine, all right. Then what happened? I entered into exam hall. Not a single word studied in costing. I don't know even a single concept in costing. I went into the exam hall. Then it became, I read through the paper. It became more like a quiz competition where you can actually attempt for it. So like a very, very casual attempt, I started attempting for all answers. Let me try this, no? Hey, this we studied somewhere back in foundation something or inter, yeah, we came across this. No, I started attempting. Like this, I wrote for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And this friend of mine, whom I told him, whom I spoke so much saying that I'll jump out at 16th minute, all that, he wrote for 2.5 hours and he was waiting for me for 15 minutes. And once after this was done, then the next ISCA paper happened. ISCA I wrote well, I was sure of getting an exemption. Then DT paper. DT also I wrote well, the legacy knowledge which you would have carried from Inter. And now also I studied well for DT. DT I wrote well. My target was these 2 papers exemption I should get. Then was IDT paper. IDT was not at all in scope. GST and all just came in and I was like proper like Rahul Dravid shot of well left only. So complete, nothing studied. Then came elections in Tamil Nadu. They said your IDT paper which is being scheduled for today will get moved 5 days later. Then my friend said, Machan, we are solid getting 5 days, don't waste your time, seriously come and study. Now you can actually study. I thought, 2 exemptions already we will anyways get there. So this is also 3rd exemption, why not we try? I just tried. And IDT, now 6 days preparation I had. I prepared for 6 days, I wrote the exam, I was confident I'll clear that exam. Now the results came. First group, I sailed through, I cleared. Second group, 3 papers I cleared. Costing paper, I lost by 7 marks, 33 marks. My total was 397 on 600, 700, 397. In case I had got somewhere in case I had got another 7 marks in aggregate level as well as marks level also, I had cleared in the second group. But because of these 7 marks, I lost. We really don't know what is hidden for you, what is in store for you. And because of the 7 marks exactly, I had to attend classes, I took up classes, I had to write all the 4 papers again together, and then it was 6 months of time. The 6 months of time, what happens in life, you need to understand. Someone who's clearing in this attempt goes into a job and gets placed at, for example, a basic package of 10 lakhs per annum. After 6 months, when someone clears the same exam and goes in, there's no difference. Let's keep there's no difference, there's no inflation, nothing. He also gets in placed at the same 10 lakhs per annum. Now comes the year end. When the year end comes, the first guy would have worked for how many months? 12 months. The second guy would have typically worked for 6 months. Now the second guy will not be taken into appraisal cycle. The first guy will be taken into appraisal cycle. The 10 lakhs at the end of April, when your paycheck is coming in, would have become 10 lakhs would have become 12 lakhs. And the other person's 10 lakhs, if it's a good company, they'll say, okay, yeah, we are ready to give you some 20,000, 20 bucks just as a token of appreciation. Next appraisal cycle, you will get cleared, you will get covered. Now what happens? 10 lakhs becomes 12 lakhs in one case. The 10 lakhs remains 10 lakh 20,000 or the same 10 lakhs in another case. Next appraisal cycle, the base would be 12 lakhs here, the base would be 10 lakhs only here. Understood? So this difference, the 6 months, what can it bring, what big difference can it bring to my life? This difference it can bring to your life. It will make a difference. And talking about auditing as a subject, I told our professors also, I'm just trying to tell you more from personal point of view only. Auditing is one paper. What do you guys actually think about auditing as a paper? I have some of the kids for whom I'm taking class currently are also here. No spamming. So what do you think about auditing as a paper? Okay, the silence answers everything. Yeah, sorry, there was some answer. Long paper. So yeah, it's a long paper, it's a very hardcore theory, all that is there. But how can I make actually auditing interesting is also one question. Auditing is one, so basically there is some strategy of placing auditing at the end of your second group, where you write all the exams, you clear auditing, then you join your articleship. Why is that they are trying to place it like that? Auditing is basically like a chariot which pulls through all the other subjects together. As an auditor, when you attend a marriage, when you become an auditor, when you attend a marriage, you need to look at the sphere of questions they ask you. They ask you everything about accounts. One person who's in accounting stream will come and ask you, Anna, I have this doubt. In Ind AS, after Ind AS coming in, how should I do this? He'll ask you. Some elderly people will come and ask you, I'm getting pension of this much, how should I plan my taxes? You have all these pair of questions which are being rooted at, and there will be some people who will be asking you, what will happen with this Israel-Gaza war, and what will be the impact on oil prices? What impact will it have on your profession, on India, on economy? What will Mr. Jaishankar think of this, all that? Basically, you are supposed to ask him. But people treat you like an FM, like an EAM, everything they treat you. Why? Because you came through all these hurdles here. Now, auditing is a subject where you are supposed to carry through all this and convey all this. Just think of your examiner point of view. Basically, this guy is sitting and correcting papers for about 8 hours, 10 hours a day. He's been reading the same stuff again and again and again and again and again and again. Same essay 200, same this, same that. So where do you stand yourself differently? These intelligence officers, R&AW, what we call RAW. The RAW officers, whenever they are addressing the bureaucrats, they'll exactly speak only one line or maximum 2 lines. Why they speak so less is because they'll have to convey the entire idea of whatever they are trying to say in those 2 lines, because bureaucrats don't have time. And these people also don't have time because they have to go into their work. Now, same is the case with any theory paper also. In theory, you can write a lot of things, but whether it conveys sense is the first question. And the idea is to convey sense. So where do I make a difference? If I'm writing, I'm sure, I can talk about auditing, but even parts of law also I can tell you, whether it is auditing or law, where do you think you can make a difference as a person who's writing the paper? Where is that you can tell this examiner, dude, I studied and came, I studied well and came. Basically, your paper is talking to the examiner, no? How can you make this difference to the examiner? That's when you write essays. That's when you quote the complete essay. That's when you quote the complete section number along with rules. These make a difference. When you are giving the examiner the luxury of just reading the side heading and inside you have written point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, he's going to have his notes here, the key exam answer key here, point number 1, okay, point number 2, okay, point number 3, okay, point number 4, okay, 4 marks, done, next. If you are actually reducing the stress on the shoulders of the examiner and making it very easy for him, if you are making life easy for him, he is going to give you more marks. If you are making life very difficult for him, we have some leaders who speak like in length, where you don't really understand at the end whatever they have spoken. We have a lot of political leaders like this, a lot of celebrities like this. You are supposed to convey things in a very, very precise manner. This is what I want to convey and this is given to you, take it. The answer key, as much as your answer reflects the answer key, the more marks you are going to get. Okay, and this is more on auditing as a subject. Auditing as a subject, we know for a fact that 30 marks are straight coming to you in the form of MCQ. Go through your Board of Studies knowledge portal. You have MCQs there. You have 175 MCQs out there. You have 40 case scenarios there. After doing that, if you are attempting your MCQ questions, you can't get anything less than 30. You can get maybe where you thought, oh, A, I thought B, oh, Tikka, I thought mark. Like that, if you are making some extremely silly mistakes, then you can lose marks. If not, you can't lose marks at all. We are talking about something where you can't lose marks at all. It's given on a platter. The MCQ questions are given on a platter to you saying, dude, read this and go, you'll get full marks. So 30 marks is done there. Then balance. For example, when we are going through chapters like audit of items of financial statements or audit of different entities, you need to be smart enough to have a key, like these are the common points which are appearing across all these headers. And these points, if I remember, even if I forget everything, these points if I write and come, at least 90% of my exam key is going to meet it straight to straight. Then I'm going to definitely clear. And if you guys have, with respect to auditing, it is also about remembering the keywords. For example, you can't write in auditing balance sheet items. The examiner will expect you to write account balances. You can't write in auditing P&L items. The examiner will expect you to write classes of transactions. You can't write to the extent frequency, all that these words you can't write in auditing. Frequency of audit procedures, how much I did audit procedures. You need to write the words nature, timing and extent of audit procedures. These things form key. These things make a difference. Because these are the words which are coming in as answer key. If you are not able to relate those words in your answer, then that guy is going to get confused. He is going to get boggled. Hey, what this guy has written? He has written something but I am not able to understand. Okay, 4 marks are okay, let me give 1.5 marks. Wow, he is also writing something. So this 2.5 marks could make a difference to your total when it is especially 39 to 41, when it is 59 to 61, when it is a rank to no rank. This makes a difference. So, and one more thing is how much of auditing can you actually relate to your real life and study. I'll cut short the example very much. I'll just precisely tell you what is the example. What are the different opinions that an auditor can give in his audit report? What are the different forms of opinion? Unqualified opinion, unmodified opinion, modified opinion. Inside modified opinion, you have 3 opinions. Qualified, adverse, disclaimer of opinion. So when I was studying actually this concept back in the time when I was reading for my final, for one of my uncles, they were looking for an alliance. And this concept was like completely confusing for me. What is this qualified opinion? What is this modified opinion? What is adverse opinion? What opinion is this? It was very, very confusing for me. Then on one side, my mother, my relatives were all, okay, this alliance is okay, that alliance is okay, this is okay, this girl is fine, that boy is fine. They were seeing on one side alliances were going on for some relatives in my family. Now, I was just thinking of one random case. Okay, just imagine this. There's a guy, okay, there's a father. The father has got a daughter. For this daughter, the father is looking for an alliance. The father is asking one of his friends to spy on this boy and say, hey, I got this horoscope of this boy, I got the alliance of this boy. To the extent whatever I know, the boy seems to be good. What do you think of this boy? This uncle, that is this girl's friends, father's friend, this uncle goes on looking for the facts about the boy. After 1 month, he comes back. After 1 month of thorough hard work, he comes back. He's coming back and telling, see, there is no opinion, there is no policy, moral policing in this. Just try to understand the crux of example, that's enough. The uncle is coming back and saying, hey, the boy doesn't drink, the boy doesn't smoke, he's a cool guy, very nice guy, you can definitely give your daughter. This is unmodified opinion. The uncle comes back and says, hey, the boy has got one smoking area in his office and he also goes to pub. The problem is, of the 1 month that I followed, I saw him 2 days. 2 days going to smoking area and going to pub, which were all office meetings, gatherings, all that. Otherwise, he was clean and clear. So, in case we assume smoking and drinking are material problems, material misstatements, then this is a case of a qualified opinion where he's saying it is a material problem. The guy drinks, the guy smokes, but not daily, which means it is not pervasive. So material, but not pervasive. In case uncle comes back and says, dude, he's a drunkard dude, please don't give, I'll better put a poster on road saying that no one should give girl to him. So he drinks, he smokes every day. He is actually a complete drunkard. Now what do I say? The uncle comes back and gives adverse opinion because there is a material and a pervasive misstatement. The uncle is now confused. He comes back and says, dude, every day when I'm seeing him, the boy is every day going to pub, every day going to smoking area. I'm not able to see inside it because it's so foggy. When he comes, there is like a lot of smoke around him when he comes out of smoking area. When he comes out of pub, if I go and ask him what is the time, he says, something he says. He doesn't speak clearly. I don't know if he's drinking. I don't know if he's smoking. I did not see him doing that. But I have serious doubt that every day he's doing that. Now what does uncle say? Uncle says that, dude, there is a material problem and it is also pervasive. Every day he's doing that, but I did not see. So I don't have enough documents in hand to say that. I don't have sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to say that he's doing that, but I have serious potential doubts about it. Disclaimer of opinion. This is how we read auditing. In case we are exactly trying to produce what is there in book and straight trying to dip it into our heads, it is not going to work out. Try to have tricks like this, try to have nuances like this and try to study. With respect to studying the mental frame for exam, you have taken one of the toughest courses. Okay, I'm not saying the toughest course because we have much tougher courses than this. You have taken one of the toughest courses. And here passing or failing is purely based on your capability, the efforts that you have put into the work, all that. So it's not a straight cakewalk, definitely. All of us know that. But as far as mental frame is concerned, you need to provide for the fact that yes, it's a tough exam, but see, I'm also not so easy, no, I'm also tougher only. Let us see. Have that mental frame. Don't have a mental frame like, yeah, it's a tough exam, I don't know, that uncle, I know, he failed, this uncle, he's giving 17th attempt. Don't take uncles like that. Better delete them from your phone contacts. Okay, you give your attempt with a lot of confidence and you are seeing people, the day when your CA results come, you would have been earning 5,000 rupees of stipend and now you would be getting a credit of 70,000 rupees into your bank account. Example, if not 70, at least 50,000 into your bank account. This makes a difference. Whatever loans you had yesterday, now you can take your front foot and say that I want to clear all these loans. I'm a chartered accountant now. This can happen. Now, if there was any lender who was charging excessive interest, you can go back and say that I'm a chartered accountant. I also know people. I can go to a police station. I can go to the court. I can see you in court. Your words have got value. If there is an uncle who is not respecting you till yesterday because you are going around in Bermudas, and now if he knows that you are a chartered accountant, he is going to come running to you and ask you, hey, can you just help me with my taxes part? That makes a difference. The way people see you makes a difference. And for that, you need to believe that you are there. If you think, let me give a chance, no, what, A or B or C. No, it's not an MCQ. It's a very clear thing. You clear, you don't clear. You clear, things change a lot. You don't clear, skies are going to be there as it is. Stars will come. Everything is going to be there as it is. But your life is also, it will also be there as it is. It is not going to change. This is a course which carries with it a lot of miracles. A lot of families have come out of poverty. A lot of people who were thrown into poverty because of health bills would have come out in life. A lot of people who were subjected to discrimination, to inequalities would have come out in life because of this title, this education. It is more than just 2 letters. It adds a lot of value to you. Take that very seriously. Trust that very seriously. And the process that you are going to be a chartered accountant is not something magical. It's eventual. Foundation done, inter done, articleship done, final done, CA only, no. In foundation only, if you are thinking, will I become very tough, no, and all. I am telling you, you will never become. But in case you think, why I can't become? I can become. I can become one. I have that in me. I have that guts in me to become one. You are going to become one. And I hope we all meet again very soon in classes, soon after classes as professional peers, one-on-one in a meeting where we have some very valuable and interesting discussions altogether. Thank you.